Hi, I'm Tanya Field from Novatiq, and this is our Tech Talk. I'm co-founder and Chief Product Officer at Novatiq, a provider of privacy by design verified ID solutions for digital marketing and advertising. Our technology is designed to verify first-party IDs and make a brand's first-party data safe to use in the ad tech ecosystem. By safe, we mean verified, fraud-free, and privacy regulation compliant. It's my responsibility to bring new problem-solving products to market, and I manage teams who collaborate with clients, design and build problem-solving ID solutions, launch them to market, and integrate them with partners for use throughout the digital advertising ecosystem. Let's start with the current market challenges that make what we do so important. Consumer privacy has been pushed to the front of any company decision-making in relation to data. We saw privacy regulations, including GDPR, the e-Privacy Directive in the EU, and the California Consumer Privacy Act in the US, altering the way digital advertising stacks work. But the past year has seen a new challenge, one that brings a huge disruption to the operating model of the whole digital advertising sector. Traditional mechanisms for identifying people for online advertising, such as third-party cookies and mobile advertising IDs, are either being deprecated or devalued. For example, Apple has made its ID for advertisers opt-in, which is expected to diminish usage by up to 80%. Without third-party cookies, and with a restricted use of maids, advertising needs to rely on one of a few options. Firstly, there are walled gardens such as Facebook, Apple, and Amazon, who rely on authentication at scale within their own environments. Secondly, there are authenticated identifier providers that offer a limited addressable audience. Then there are inferred identifiers that enable publishers to fingerprint devices to access sites with the aim of recognizing returning users. Also, Google's Open Standards Privacy Sandbox focuses on aggregation and anonymization, but this is an approach that it has admitted will potentially adversely impact targeting. Finally, there are first-party cookies that will remain in place but will be of limited value on their own, as they're session-based and do not enable cross-device user recognition. These identifiers provide only a fraction of the scale that digital advertising needs to thrive. Novatiq is dedicated to providing advertising as a service and not as an interruption. Given that telcos are at the centre of each and every digital interaction, our solution to the market problem is an in-network, cookieless ID that creates verified IDs for publishers and brands so that advertisers can activate precise first-party audience targeting, even including telco first-party deterministic data. As such, it's a win-win situation. We enable telcos to use their unique position in the market to provide a valuable scaled alternative to secure ID solutions and utilise their consented first-party data to reach highly targeted audiences. We also enable publishers to join the dots between their own ecosystems and the open web through a unique publisher-specific ID for each user. This ID enables extended addressability as it focuses primarily on anonymised or ghost users, providing the publisher with a 360-degree view of users across all devices. And finally, we enable the buy side of the advertising ecosystem to put the right campaigns in front of the right pseudonymised audiences in real time. Our Fusion platform provides the ecosystem with the two-layered ID solution that is patented by Novatiq. So we're the only company within the advertising industry to offer first-party customer intelligence from telco operators as a methodology to verify audiences. This new way to process IDs that is consented and entirely secure puts privacy first and gives consumers control, which means it opens up a whole range of opportunities for different businesses across the advertising ecosystem. To enable publishers to verify users, we at Novatiq created a patented ID solution for the digital ecosystem. A telco-verified user ID called the Zenith ID. It is a cross-domain ID verification solution generated by publishers and verified by telcos to establish consistent recognition of the same user for consented first-party profiling and accurate analytics. This identifier is unique to the publisher or a publisher group, and no personal data is ever shared outside the telco network. To enable advertisers and brands to activate an audience, we also provide a second ID solution. This is a dynamic ID for audience activation called the Hyper ID. It is transactional, anonymous, and a unique token or ID that enables publishers to action consented first-party audience segments or cohorts without any personal data ever entering the ad tech ecosystem. It's a real-time solution that activates audiences even against anonymized and ghost users at either audience or cohort level. Once the token has fulfilled its purpose, its ability to be reused evaporates without leaving any breadcrumbs. To deliver this, we integrate with telcos worldwide using our network-grade cloud technology. This allows us to carry out consented user mapping safely and securely behind the telco firewall. We enable telcos to create an ID currency for marketing and advertising. This ID currency can be utilised by them for their own marketing and advertising, and can also be provided as a service to digital content providers, both publishers and brands. A great example of a telco internal marketing use case is the recent work we delivered for a renowned European telco that wanted to increase customer loyalty using programmatic media to reach users outside of their own platforms. Using the Novatiq Privacy by Design ID and the telco first-party data to create and deliver the targeted audience in the Novatiq solution, the telco saw page views increase by 29%, bounce rates come down by 65%, and display viewability outperform expectations at 90%. Therefore, using the Novatiq solution gave the telco control of their one-to-one digital customer communications without wasting budget on third-party data buys, and enabled them to reach their own customers seamlessly. Our solution also serves publishers. Novatiq helps publishers overcome the demise of the third-party cookie with a verified ID that can be used for leveraging first-party audience segments for advertising propositions, increasing publisher sell-through, creating profiles for your own anonymous user traffic, driving your own targeting, and finally, to power analytics. Whilst other ID solutions are unified, Novatiq's Zenith ID has been specifically designed to enable individual publishers or groups to understand and use their consented first-party audience profiles in the broader market. For scaled use of first-party data at a cross-publisher level, a standardised first-party data taxonomy is utilised to enable multiple publishers to participate in first-party audience delivery, activated through the Novatiq Hyper ID, with no requirement for any inter-party personal data transfer. We simply use the Zenith ID and the segment code from each publisher to create the audience. In addition, with the telco verified user ID, publishers can create first-party data profiles against their existing users to either attract new lookalike prospects or to provide enhanced services. Finally, our system also serves the AdTech ecosystem. Our dynamic Hyper ID provides reassurance to marketeers, both DSPs and SSPs, and their clients that the audiences they are reaching are attributable and safe. It enables agencies, marketeers, and advertisers to put their ads in front of the right audiences and generate better campaign performance through the use of first-party data, including consented deterministic telco data. Within the advertising ecosystem, there are a number of different types of IDs delivered by multiple ID providers. Broadly, the types of IDs available fit into one of the following categories. User-level IDs, such as unified IDs, which are consistent across domains and usually linked to email addresses gathered through authentication. Device-level IDs, such as the ADID or IDFA. Probabilistic IDs based on fingerprinting. The Novatiq Zenith and Hyper IDs are user-level IDs but not cross-domain. Instead, as previously explained, the Zenith ID is first-party and publisher-specific, and the Hyper ID is dynamic and valid for a single transaction. Novatiq's ID solutions can be used in isolation or are completely interoperable with other ID solutions in the market, so advertisers and publishers don't have to compromise by choosing only one. Publishers, advertisers, ad tech companies and telcos can all benefit from a number of features from Novatiq to join the dots and enable a 360-degree view of audiences, to precisely target audiences for better campaign performance, to enrich inventory, to create personalized experiences, to measure on a cross-device level, to eliminate fraud, and finally, to provide advertising as a service, whilst maintaining confidence in using a privacy by design solution that delivers security and creates trusted business partnerships. So that's Novatiq in a nutshell, a provider of privacy by design verified ID solutions for digital marketing in the post-third-party cookie world. If you'd like to find out more, please get in touch via our website or email us at contactus@novatiq.com. Thank you very much for listening.